Hey everyone, thanks for joining us here at Book Blather. If you're new here, I'm Dave, this is Olive, and we mostly talk about books to help spread the joy of reading. So just a quick little video today, a little announcement video to announce a December reading event called Ghosts of Christmas Past, Resurrecting a Tradition. So this is a reading event that was started by Vin over at Revenant and Reads, who was kind enough to ask us to co-host. There are a few co-hosts that we will list below along with the other information. But if you've been around a while, you know that we really, really love Christmas, right, Olive? We love it. And last year we spent the month of December reading only Christmas-themed stuff. And we even did some fireside readings of Charles Dickens, some of Charles Dickens' Christmas stories, which we were surprised to find out that there was a lot of. And so an old tradition of Christmas, of the Christmas season in Victorian times, is to read ghost stories. And that is the focus of this reading event, is to reignite that sort of Victorian tradition of reading ghost stories around the fire during the season. So the Victorian era, which is generally considered when Queen Victoria ruled Great Britain from 1837 to 1901, I think that's right. And one of the earliest Victorian ghost stories was, of course, the famous A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, published in 1843. That is a story that is a major influence on the holiday Christmas as we celebrate it today, and also one of the earliest Victorian ghost stories, of course, specifically about Christmas, following the three ghosts, Christmas past, present, and future, that come to see Ebenezer Scrooge on Christmas Eve. And so the idea of this reading event is it's meant to be very loose. Vin wanted to not to be too restrictive, and you kind of just have fun with it. So there are a couple different ways to participate. So one is that we will be doing a group read of a famous Victorian ghost story called The Old Nurse's Story by Elizabeth Gaskell. As you can see, it's a short story. Even this version is about 75 pages. So we will be doing this as a buddy read. There will be a Voxer chat group open to everybody for the buddy read, which we will link below if you want to read the story along with us and talk about it with us on Voxer. The other two ways you can participate is just to read other Victorian ghost stories, or to just read ghost stories modern ghost stories for today. Because the whole point of the reading event is to try to get people, a little, just to reignite that interest in reading Victorian ghost stories during the Christmas season. So, be creative with it. Like I said, it's very open. Be creative with it. Like there's a few things we're planning on doing. We're going to be reading a modern day graphic novel version of the classic Victorian ghost story of A Christmas Carol. So this is one of the things we'll be doing. You can also read some classic. There's Charles Dickens has many Christmas stories, a few of which are ghost stories. This volume is full of Charles Dickens Christmas stories. So Christmas stories became very, very popular back then. After A Christmas Carol, there was ghost stories were published a lot during in newspapers and magazines back at that time, and so. There's many stories, or that volume's hard to find, of course, but you can pick up this Penguin Classics version of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol and other Christmas writings, which has a couple, which has both A Christmas Carol in it, if you want to read or reread that. It has Haunted Man and the Ghost Bargain, both of which are ghost stories for the Christmas season. You can also read just traditional Victorian literature. We're ourselves will be hitting The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. This is one of the famous Victorian ghost story at the end towards the end of the Victorian era. And, another one, we've already read this, but one I would recommend if you want to try into more modern stuff, like this is a perfect one, Mr. Dickens and His Carol by Samantha Silva. So we read this, Buddy read this with our friend Dia over at Novel Idea last December, and this was a wonderful story, and it's a modern novel, just came out a couple years ago. Basically, fictional account of Charles Dickens and when he was writing the story of Christmas Carol, and how he saw some things himself. And so wonderful modern novel that I highly recommend. So there's all different tacks that you can take to this to try to get in the spirit of of Victorian and or modern ghost stories around the Christmas season. So to have fun with it. And if you have some ideas for us, or you're looking for ideas, just let us know. Let us know down in the comments, or any of the co-hosts. So our co-hosts are, of course, Vin from Revenant Reads, who is the founder of this reading event. Also Mark from Book Time with Elvis, Debs from Rainer Reads, Elaine from Cobalt Dragon, and Mindy from Mindy's Book Journey. So they will all be linked below, along with the Voxer link. And let us know if you're interested if you're going to be doing it along with us. Should be a good time, and like I said, no pressure. You can just read one thing or a couple of things, whatever, just to get in the spirit and chat with us about what you're reading. So we will, as the event gets to December, as the event gets closer, we'll have a little more lockdown about a little more detailed plans about what we'll be planning to read, and which we'll share with you then. But so yeah, let us know if this sounds cool to you, if you think you might partake in the activities, and and that's it. So thanks so much for watching. If you don't have anything substantive you want to say, you could always leave Olive a puppy emoji, because she does always like to see those. So thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you again very soon. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you next time.